51 years after the emergency was imposed in India, the NCERT has for the first time introduced a dedicated section on the emergency in a Class 9 social science textbook, describing it as one of the biggest challenges faced by Indian democracy. The chapter, part of the newly developed textbook Understanding Society, India and Beyond, states that during the emergency imposed between 1975 and 77, a majority of fundamental rights were suspended. The press was censored, political leaders and activists were arrested, and democratic institutions came under severe strain. The textbook also highlights the role of Jayaprakash Narayan and the mass movement against the emergency, noting that the 1977 general election demonstrated the resilience and strength of Indian democracy when voters removed the ruling government through the ballot box. The move has triggered a political debate. The BJP has welcomed the inclusion, calling it a dark chapter in India's constitutional history that must be remembered to ensure it never is repeated. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the emergency was a direct assault on the constitution, as the period witnessed the suspension of civil liberties, curbs on freedom of expression, and an assault on institutions that are the bedrock of Indian democracy. Prime Minister Modi has also shared an article authored by Union Culture and Tourism Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat on the emergency on preserving democratic values through historical awareness. On the other hand, Congress leader Sachin Pilot has launched a sharp attack on the BJP over its criticism of the emergency, accusing the ruling party of selectively interpreting history for political gain. The emergency imposed by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on June 25, 1975 remains one of the most debated chapters in independent India's political history. With its inclusion in school curriculum, a new generation of students will now study the period as part of their understanding of Indian democracy and its challenges. What it has also opened up is a whole political Pandora box. And I'm being joined at this point by Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson for Congress. I shall shortly be joined also by Charu Pragya, who's a spokesperson for BJP, and Vijay Grover, a senior journalist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining me at this point. Dr. Pooja Tripathi, let's just start with you. I think uncontested emergency has been a very worrying past of India's history. I will not just say political history. But how do you look at what's happened now?
Sneha, uncontested is word that you used rightly, because even Congress party has criticized the emergency. Even Congress party has our leaders have apologized for it, and that's where I draw the line. Emergency 1975 was a teacher in emergency, constitutional erosion. But what is happening is the de facto structural erosion of institutions. If you want to include a chapter on NCERT, please go ahead and include the chapter. Also include the chapter on how Education Minister of India is calling the people who are asking justice in the name of NEET paper leaks, Deshdrohi, or people he is calling them. And that's where I ask, when we slide down in press freedom index, when 500% rates have happened on opposition leaders in last 10 years, only leading to 2% of conviction, we ask is why are you not declaring emergency per se? Because what you are doing with, you suspend 140 MPs, you break down parties, you use AD, CBI's IT and money and muscle power to break down parties, to snatch away democratic mandates, and that's where democratic erosion is happening. When a chief minister of state is muddled in corruption worth crores and crores of land scam, when funds meant for Ram Mandir temple donations are being embezzled by the people, where do you draw the line? And that's where we ask, it's very, very, very convenient of you. Prime Minister very conveniently remembers emergency as the Black Day for Samvidhan Hatya Divas. He has not, Prime Minister has been vocal with Pariksha Pe Charcha, Man Ki Baat, hasn't said a word on the NEET paper leaks, and 22 suicides of students have happened. And we ask them why when 86% of bills are not being sent to the standing committees, who is responsible for the democratic emergency? When 1% of the wealth is concentrated in 40% of the 1% of population concentrates 40% of the wealth that India holds, where do you talk about the financial emergency? So, there have been many, when you talk about youth unemployment, you see 4,000 posts in Uttar Pradesh and 14 lakh people applying for it. You see a man being, choked to death in the railways. And that's where I ask every aspect of the life, every aspect of the nation is
Okay.
suffering, is asking questions, but you have all the time and convenience to introduce a chapter. When you erase the chapter on
Okay.
Darwin's theory, when you erase a chapter on assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, but you do introduce a chapter on emergency. Very clever, very convenient, but the country sees through it all.
Okay, I will go to Charu Pragya, who will be joining us shortly. I think we have a line problem there. But Charu, before I go to Vijay Grover, very quickly at this point, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, would you agree? Um, you may call the move of including emergency into NCERT textbooks as whatever you want to call it. Uh, is it unbecoming of the Congress governments in the past to have not included that textbook till now? Is that something, because obviously the BJP is questioned often on being selective in its perspective of history. Can that same argument be also for the Congress?
Did Congress erode something as trademark as assassination of Mahatma Gandhi? Is I asked, you can't be selective. You want to say you're a party with a difference. You can't be selective and introduce emergency and erase something as important as Darwin's theory
Is
of
it
evolution.
one versus the other? Or can we just stick to one?
About this petty political score points. The country is looking for your answers. Two of your
Charu Pragya, do you want to come in at this point, Charu Pragya?
Yes, please. Yes, please. I've been waiting to speak.
We were waiting to get you on the screen, Charu Pragya. I think there was some technical issue with the screen.
There still is one, and I apologize in advance if my voice gets shaky. But let me see if I'm better connected now. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Charu.
You know, the arguments put forth by the Congress spokesperson at this point of time are frankly completely non-admissible. I'm not even using a word like nonsensical right now because I want to be polite to her. The thing is that history is an important subject, madam. People study history in schools and colleges, they research in history, they get into the details of what happened in the past because that is where we draw lessons for our future from. And the emergency, the black 21 months of emergency in India's past are a great lesson for India's future, and it will do us well to not forget it. You know why this emergency was put in place? Because one regime became so authoritarian that when it lost an election, there were malpractices that were done, and when they were challenged in court, emergency was declared. Citizens even lost their right to come forward and challenge an illegal detention. Over 1 lakh people with political opinions differing those of Mrs. Gandhi were arrested. Over 1 lakh, Sneha. And that is what emergency was about. Complete stifling of the rights of every single Indian. I am very happy that it's been included in our textbooks because it's important for our youngsters to know where we come from and what kind of nearly 2 years our citizens went through. The democracy, the freedom you enjoy today, the way you can speak out against whatever you like, the way you can criticize anything, even if it is against your own government. This right did not exist with you when the Congress party was in absolute power. They misused that power. Like, you know, the situation was such. So today, when we make something like this a part of our textbooks, our youngsters grow up with the knowledge of how terrible things can happen. This is not about any kind of political brownie points. This is ensuring that we're not teaching youngsters sketchy history, convenient history, like Congress chose to do time and time again because you wanted to side with the British, you wanted to put away the parts that were not good for our country, our country's economy, etc. The same thing happens.
Can I come and
I'm sorry? No, of course you can't come in because you've been speaking frankly nonsense for very long.
It was
Okay. I'll come to you, Dr. Pooja. We have time. Let's just Charu finish a point. Charu, go ahead. Finish your point.
Neha, every country remembers its important moments with a lot of humility and a lot of pride. But the emergency is one such space where we need to remember to protect our citizens from what can happen if a authoritarian government comes back into power. And there's absolutely no comparison in what Pooja is trying to say today and what Mrs. Gandhi did. Because at that point of time, editorials were blank pages printed in newspapers. That is the extent to it went
Okay.
to. You were not allowed to write anything. You were not allowed to say anything. Journalists were jailed. People with political opinions were jailed. Every single citizen, whether it was the sterilization drive, whether it was demolition of slums, tell me which fundamental right existed. You
Okay.
even lost the right
Okay, Pooja
to go to
Tripathi,
court
very
to
quickly,
protect
you want to give a
yourself.
response? I want to go to Vijay
Today,
Grover and
who's
spend
getting
some time with
arrested,
him.
Dr. Tripathi? You're sitting here and
You
you're
want to teach
criticizing the
history
government
very,
on
very
national
courteous of
television.
you, very,
Time and time
you know,
again,
very
you have the
Mahan of
freedom
you
to
to
do so.
teach them history.
You have the freedom to do so. This itself is a testament
You
to
want to
India's
teach them.
free
I
and
was,
vibrant democracy
I
today.
stayed shut when you were speaking. Please, let me speak. You want to teach them history, very, very courteous of you. Why did you delete the references of RSS ban after Mahatma Gandhi assassination? Why did you delete references to Gujarat riots? Teach them proper history. Go and teach them emergency, but teach them how RSS was banned as an co-accused in the Mahatma Gandhi's assassination case. No, you will delete that portion. You'll delete the Gujarat riots. You'll delete the
No,
industrial
absolutely
revolution.
not.
Now you're sitting
One
here
minute,
giving.
Pooja. I think you have not read history. False
You have your
allegations
own
cannot be
version of
taught
history.
to
And
children.
how
Right.
False
foolishly,
allegations cannot be printed in textbooks.
Okay.
Did you miss
Say
that
that
part?
Congress
Okay,
sided with
Dr.
cannot
Pooja,
print rumors
Dr. Pooja and
propaganda
Charu
right
Pragya,
textbooks.
give me a few minutes. Let me go across to the man who's extremely silent at this point. But Vijay Grover, let's just get into the part of viewing history. And I think you would agree, irrespective of whichever government comes in power, there is a prism and a way of looking at history. Unfortunately, history is more a tool of convenience.
Agreed with you. Amongst the four of us who are here in this debate, I think so. I'm the only one who was there when the emergency took place. I was all of 9 years old. The first time that I saw a police station, because my father went underground. He was an associate with George Fernandez. So he went underground during emergency. And first time as a 9-year-old, I was called to a police station to be questioned as to where they were. So I have experienced what it meant, what it is, and what it was at that time when you have your father underground for months together and you don't know where he is and what condition he is. And so the pain and agony of what an emergency can do, I've felt it firsthand, right? This is one thing. Now, we are today talking about it being brought to the textbooks. Yes, there was one amendment that was made after emergency was lifted, the 44th Amendment. It made certain technical changes under what circumstances an emergency could be implemented. Right. Now, when we talk of this, why is the government so keen to teach the students of the 9th standard the dangers of implementing an emergency? We've seen 51 years down the line, the BJP has been in power for 17 of those 51 years. Why has it not made any effort to amend the constitution to ensure that any of these flaws that exist in the constitution were rectified? I heard the BJP spokesperson talking about that they want to teach the young generation. They want the people to understand the dark chapter. Today also there are dark chapters which exist. Let's talk of Umar Khalid. Let's talk of other detentions. Let's talk of the cockroaches at the party. Let's talk of how a minister today can get away by saying that the students, the Gen Z, are the B team of terrorists. Why constitutional amendments have not been brought? Okay, we are blaming the Congress here, rightfully, or whatever the reasons were.
Sure, I think
it
nobody
did
will
not do
justify the
anything in
emergency.
34 years. But in the 17 years of the BJP, in these 51 years that have gone by, why such amendments were not brought? Where is the freedom that we are talking of? What are we trying to preach?
Can I come
We are
in,
not
please?
trying to preach anything which is implementable. We are trying to only preach so that people remember, draw political conclusions, and take a decision on part of that. This is the most unfortunate thing. What
Can I come
freedom
in,
are we
please?
talking
Yeah.
about?
Charu, I'll come to you.
Is
I'll
it
come to you.
a total sense of freedom? You ask 4 out of 10 people, I'm sure they will tell you that there's no total sense of freedom that exists today. What's happening to the minorities? I'm not talking of political parties, they can keep fighting their own fights. But what about the minorities, the way they're being targeted, the way their mosques are? Where is the sense of freedom that you're talking about?
Charu Pragya,
Where
come
is
in.
the...
Charu
This is
Pragya,
something
respond.
that we need to talk about, not in the 9th standard textbooks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And sir, I would urge you to back your statements with fact. Can you just back your statement that minorities are being attacked with facts? Because I can claim for sure that that is an absolute fabricated lie and propaganda that you're trying to spread right now. There has never been any evidence that in India minority has been
Thank
selectively
you.
being targeted, and you're as
You
aware
need
of
to
that
get onto the
as I
social
am.
media, hand
Atrocities, if it
papers, I can
happens,
show you,
would be
lady.
for other reasons. No minority is attacked. No minority is being attacked. And if you are focusing on that, and if you want to bring attention to that, you should bring equal amount of attention to the fact that for the longest time, the Prime Minister of our country felt comfortable saying that the first right on the resources of our country belongs to the minorities and especially the Muslims. Acknowledge that. But coming back to the topic at hand, you are talking about what is being taught, in the 9th standard
time and
history
again by
textbook.
your beat
I'm not
channels.
talking to you. Sneha, you'll have to step in. My network
Stop
is really
saying lie on
sketchy.
national
For us to
television.
get through this debate,
You
you'll have to
can't
allow
hide
me to
behind
speak
your
Pooja,
without
Pooja,
the opportunity
Dr.
to
Pooja, I'll come to you.
I'm very
Dr.
sorry.
Pooja, I'll come to you.
That's
Everybody
what
gets the time to
Pooja,
speak.
hang on.
Dr. Pooja, I'll get... Dr. Pooja, I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja, I will come to you. Dr. Pooja, I will come to you. Dr. Pooja, I will come to you. You will get the time to speak. There's... No, hold it. Everybody will get the time to speak. Dr. Pooja, let her speak. Everybody will come.
Can I finish?
We'll come to you. We'll come to you. Because the audience is not, the viewer is not able to understand what you're saying if you interject. Dr. Pooja, I think everybody has the right to respond.
I won't listen to them misquoting Dr. Manmohan Singh, period on that.
You don't have to listen to it. You will counter it.
That time and again, this has
Dr.
been
Pooja,
cleared by
Dr.
your
Pooja,
beat
you do not have to listen to them, and therefore you are there. If it was supposed to be only one-sided thing, Dr. Pooja, I would have had only Charu and not you.
She can make
Dr.
endless
Charu,
number
we're digressing. We'll come to you, Dr. Charu. We'll come to you. And we'll come to you, Dr. Pooja. We'll come to you, Dr. Pooja. Go ahead, Charu Pragya, make your point. Dr. Pooja, give me a few minutes. We'll come to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, also, the other panelist talks about the fact that voices need to be curbed. Sir, if that would happen, you would come on to freedom of speech and expression. Today, the fact that Pooja can go on and on, interrupting a debate, criticizing what I am saying, what our Prime Minister stands for, is a testament to the fact that India has never been this vibrant, our democracy has never been this alive. Another thing is that you're even criticizing every other thing every other minister is saying, which is absolutely fine, and that is allowed. But see, there is a fine line between criticism, accepting that criticism, and picking up someone who speaks negatively of the government and throwing them in jail, not even allowing them a chance to go in for appeal. Everything is in textbooks, sir. And if this was not important, as you are saying, then why would children be taught about the Holocaust? Why would we teach our children about World War I, World War II? Why would we talk about the perils of a nuclear explosion that happened in Japan and the country was reeling under it for decades to come? In fact, to a certain extent, even today. So if we can discuss things that went wrong in history in other parts of the country as well as our own, then these 21 dark months of the emergency must be discussed and must be remembered. And I think it is only good that they are included now. Another thing that Pooja was mentioning briefly is that Pooja textbooks cannot have rumors. Some propaganda that you have and a rumor you want to propagate cannot become a part of Indian textbooks. Our children cannot be learning about rumors.
Dr. Pooja, go ahead.
It's very fine. She said, criticism is absolutely fine. You can criticize all our ministers. Then why is your minister, the minister in your government, you want proof of everything, calling those asking for justice for the 22 students, B team of, terrorists? This is absolutely fine criticism of the government. Somebody asking justice for the 22 students, somebody asking justice for the 23 lakh students is being called terrorist, and here BJP spokesperson saying criticism is absolutely fine and Prime Minister will listen to every criticism. Wow, our Prime Minister doesn't have the time and audacity to address the students on their pariksha ki baat, and doesn't have the time and audacity to take a
How
man
is
ki
that
baat to the
connected to the
students.
chapter on
What
emergency in a textbook, Pooja? Please
Prime
tell me that.
BJP spokesperson will come
And the
here
Prime
to
Minister is
discourse.
supposed to individually listen to 150 crore people talking.
You want to teach about
What is
Holocaust?
wrong with
They
you?
teach them about RSS role in Mahatma Gandhi's assassination. Why did you delete that chapter from the history books? Why did you delete the chapter of Godhra riots?
Yes,
Keep a
because
balanced
I
approach.
just answered
Teach
that.
them,
I think
teach them about nuclear emergency. Teach them about Godhra riots. Teach them about RSS role. Teach them about Holocaust. Teach them everything. Don't saccharinize history, and that's what exactly are you doing. You are actually diverting away from the main issues that's plaguing the country. You want to bring up Samvidhan Hatya Divas, which we have criticized it too. Which
all
we
right,
have to-
all right. My last, I barely have a minute more. Vijay Grover, I'll come to you. Vijay Grover, again, my question is almost in the same lines that I asked you last time. But for every nation to move forward, it also carries the legacy of what lies behind. Good, bad, ugly, all of it really becomes the journey of a nation. And very often, I mean, I was quite taken aback at one point, over the last few days, when this whole thing about first time NCRT having lessons on emergency, I had to pause and think, where did I learn it all from then? And then you suddenly realize the country carries so much. The people around the ecosystem carries so much. How much of that carries relevance with respect to history that's often subjective? And it's not just in India, however political.
Well, since Sneha, what you say is absolutely right in terms of, getting the information right. My only point here, and to the BJP spokesperson and the government, is that, okay, you've been ruling. There were flaws in the Constitution. The Constitution has been amended time and again. If you want to ensure that there is no other dark chapter like emergency, why were no steps taken to ensure what could be, except for the technical jargon that an internal war or an aggression, only then can an emergency be imposed. These are the only two changes made.
Right.
But corruption, let's talk of corruption. At that time also, one of the key or the positive aspects of emergency, what came out was that the rampant corruption at that time, which was caused by food scarcity and other things, was taken care of. I mean, Indira Gandhi actually tightened the bureaucracy at that time. Now, clearly, if that is the kind of situation where you feel that an emergency step can help in controlling nations, because there were so many things. If you go back and study that weddings were limited, expenditure was limited, people could not buy beyond their limits. So all these were also the part of emergency that curbs were put on people. So today when we hear of corruption, we hear of, collapsing highways, we hear of, other issues.
Right.
That is an element which we need to learn as well. And I think so, if 9th standard students need to learn, the politicians certainly need to bring those amendments and teach everybody about what needs to be done to ensure that no other minorities are attacked. The BJP spokesperson denied that no Muslims are attacked in the country in the last 12 years. I hope it is true and it becomes true at least in the next 12 years. But you cannot have denial as an answer to everything.
Okay. Okay. Charu Pragya, why don't you come in at this point? Interesting what Vijay Grover says. He asks, what about the amendment that could avoid a chapter like emergency in the future? That a country like India would never have an emergency ahead. Of course, I think I would not agree with the other parts of what he said in terms of emergency and how it was used and the pluses of it. I would not get into that. I don't think personally I would ever be able to be in a prism of justifying emergency at all. But Charu Pragya, an important question. What about the amendment? Why has the government not moved beyond just educating in the textbooks, which is also important, sure. But why not with the amendment?
See, Sneha, I believe that the wise founders who wrote our constitution went through every single detail and every single emergency that could befall our country and ways and means of making sure that our elected government, our democratically elected government, could be at a point where you can protect our citizens. So there are other provisions also in our constitution. For example, precedence rule has not been used by this current government at all, in spite of so much provocation from so many states at multiple points. Because see, these are tools which are to be used only in the rarest of the rare cases. And what Indira Gandhi did when she put the emergency in our country was only for selfish gain. Like I said in the beginning, why was the emergency put? Because first she felt very confident in winning elections. When her malpractices were caught and the court challenged her election, instead of bowing out respectfully, she chose to go the emergency way. So today, the fact that Modi government does not believe in putting precedence rule everywhere or using these tools which are to be used in the rarest of the rare cases, it doesn't mean that you get rid of it, sir. Our constitution is whole, it is complete, and it is made in such a way, it's a living, breathing document. It is done in such a way that our country stands protected from every single thing, every single day. And I want to make another statement here, very responsibly. I don't think everybody, there's no one here who can disagree with the fact that PM Modi and his government has upheld the constitution in its exact spirit since the day this government has come to office, and that is going to be a testament to his golden time in India.
Dr. Pooja Tripathi?
Sending 140 MPs, as I said, sending only 83%, not sending 83% bills to the parliamentary committees, the press freedom index, the everything, the rampant corruption that's plaguing every department. So I do agree where Prime Minister Modi has upheld constitution and in its highest spirit, because that's how you don't need to bring in precedence rule. You break up parties, you throw up governments, you bring in money, you bring in muscle, and that's how you break up parties and you form their own governments. So Prime Minister Modi has upheld the constitution, and I agree there. I'm asking them, you include the chapter on emergency. Plus, please include the chapter on, I'm again requesting RSS ban on Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, on the Godhra riots too. Why to saffronize history? Why to mend and modulate the history in your own whims and fancies? History is not something that you can use to brainwash the students. The students, you can include the chapters on emergency, but deleting the chapter, students now need to learn everything, and that's why we've been everything using ED, CBI, 500% cases, 2% conviction rate. Everything points out how Prime Minister Modi has upheld the constitution in its highest spirit. The constitution talks about the duties of the office, and when he said he will not act without any fear, any bias, it's all there to see. When 1% of wealth is concerned, when 40% of wealth is concentrated in one person, it's the upholding of constitution in the highest spirit. And that's what we are asking them. Uphold the constitution in the highest spirit, bring back the chapters that have been blocked, and don't accuse Congress of selective history, because it's actually you are the one who are saffronizing history.
All right. Okay. I think we're short on time, but Charu Pragya, President's rule has happened recently as well. We've all seen it in places including Manipur, for that matter. But yeah. I understand what you're trying to say. Just wanted to bring out the facts as well. Dr. Pooja Tripathi, Charu Pragya, as well as Vijay Grover, thank you very much for joining us.